Hello everyone. How are you all doing? This is Amanda Santos from the Amanda Santos BR channel. Today, I want to share a very special experience I recently had. For those who don't know me, I'm a Brazilian living in the Canary Islands, and I recently went on a trip that took me quite far from my home country, Vilnius, the capital of Lithuania. This was the longest trip I've ever taken, both in terms of distance and in terms of the different culture and customs I encountered. I must admit that before going, I was a bit nervous about exploring such a different place, but to my surprise, I ended up being absolutely charmed by this new world I discovered there. It was such a rich and memorable experience that I simply had to share it with you all. It all started in July 2024, right in the middle of the European summer. Even on the flight, as I flew over Vilnius, I was struck by what I saw. A city wrapped in green, with large trees that seemed to embrace the entire city. This, for me, was a very positive sign because I'm someone who loves being surrounded by nature. Feeling this connection right from the start made me super excited to explore what was to come. And let me tell you, it didn't take long. I was already in love with Vilnius before I even landed. When I arrived at the hotel, I felt the pleasant warmth of the sun, and along the way, I was able to observe the city's lush architecture. Vilnius is a true architectural treasure, with styles ranging from Baroque to Gothic, Renaissance, and Neoclassical. Everything in the city is aesthetically pleasing, with historical buildings blended with modern constructions, creating an atmosphere that is both traditional and innovative. For those who love architecture, Vilnius is an absolute delight. On the first night, I was introduced to Lithuanian cuisine. People, what a delight! I tried some traditional dishes, but what really caught my attention was šaltibarščiai, a cold beetroot soup. In Brazil, even in hot weather, we're used to having hot soup, so it was a bit strange for me at first. But in the heat of the next day, it all made sense. This soup is perfect for hot summer days, refreshing and full of flavor. I also tried a non-alcoholic cocktail that was simply wonderful. Lithuania has a rich and diverse cuisine, influenced by various cultures over the centuries. Lithuanian cuisine is famous for its potato-based dishes, such as cepelinai, which are large potato dumplings filled with meat or cheese. Pork and fish dishes are also common, often accompanied by fresh or pickled vegetables. For those with a sweet tooth, šakotis is a traditional tree-shaped cake served on special occasions. It's impossible not to fall in love with Lithuanian flavors. On the first day, I took a stroll around the square where Vilnius Cathedral is located, one of the city's most important landmarks. The cathedral is imposing, with a neoclassical facade that seems to hold centuries of history and faith. Vilnius is a city deeply connected to its history and religion. The Cathedral of St. Stanislaus and St. Ladislaus, as it's formally known, is the spiritual heart of the city and has been the setting for many historical events. It's also the final resting place of many Lithuanian dukes. The interior of the cathedral is as impressive as the exterior, with ornate altars and sacred artworks that reflect the region's rich Catholic tradition. For me, it was very special to see how the city breathes history and spirituality, and how religion continues to play a significant role in the lives of its inhabitants. The square in front of the cathedral is a popular meeting point for both locals and tourists. It's always full of life, with people walking around, having coffee, or simply enjoying the good weather at the surrounding terraces. This positive vibe is something you can feel throughout the city, making you feel truly welcome. The hotel where I stayed also deserves a special mention. It's located right in the heart of the city and offers a breakfast fit for a queen. Seriously, folks, what a delicious breakfast. There were fresh fruits, crepes that were so good I couldn't resist and had seconds. The hotel's atmosphere was the perfect blend of elegance and nature, with lots of plants indoors, creating a super cozy vibe. The staff were extremely attentive, and one of them even knew a few words in Portuguese, which made me feel even more at home. One of the places I was most looking forward to visiting was Uzupis, a bohemian and autonomous district within Vilnius. Uzupis is often compared to Montmartre in Paris because of its artistic and independent atmosphere. The neighborhood is known for its Republic of Uzupis, with its own constitution, flag, and even a president. For me, Visiting Uzupis felt like stepping into another world. It's a place full of creative energy where art is present at every corner, from art galleries to sculptures and graffiti scattered throughout the streets. It's a place full of creative energy where art is present at every corner. The Uzupis one is one of the most fascinating aspects of the neighborhood scattered throughout the streets. It is displayed in several languages on the walls of a street in the area and includes articles that are both profound and poetic. For example, one of the articles states, "Everyone has the right to be happy," while another says, "Everyone has the right to die, but it's not an obligation." These articles, though simple, carry a depth that makes us reflect on life in a light yet meaningful way. It's a constitution that uniquely celebrates freedom, creativity, and humanity. Being there, reading these articles as I walked through the streets of Uzupis, was a surreal experience, almost as if I were in a different world, where the rules of life were written with poetry and humor. And of course, being close to the river and feeling the water on my feet was a very relaxing experience. I can already say that this is my favorite spot during the summer in Vilnius. Continuing my exploration of the city, I visited Kalnų parkas, or the Hills Park, one of the largest and most beautiful parks in Vilnius. This park is a true oasis of nature right in the city center. It consists of several hills and offers incredible views of Vilnius and the Neris River. The park is a popular spot for both tourists and locals, especially during the summer. People go there to escape the heat, take walks, have picnics, or simply relax in the shade of the trees. Kalnų parkas is also a historic place. For centuries, the hills were used as defensive points, and today the park hosts cultural events and festivals, such as the traditional Lithuanian Song Festival. It's a place where nature and culture meet, providing a unique experience for those who visit. Walking through this park was one of the most relaxing parts of my trip, and it's easy to understand why it's such a beloved spot among the residents of Vilnius. Another thing I loved about Vilnius was the sunset. In the summer, the sun sets late around 10 p.m., and it's quite a spectacle. The city is bathed in a golden light that enhances the beauty of its architecture even more. Watching the sunset while strolling through the streets of Vilnius was one of the most memorable moments of my trip. On the second day, I started with breakfast by the river at a super cozy restaurant. Oh, what a treat! I ordered a crepe again, this time with ginger tea, and I was impressed with the quality of the food and the tranquility of the atmosphere. Sitting there, watching the river flow by, and simply enjoying the moment was one of the most pleasant experiences of the trip. After that wonderful breakfast, I visited the Martynas Mažvydas National Library, and I must say, it was one of the most incredible places I've ever been. The library is modern, spacious, and incredibly well organized. It's not just a place to borrow books, but a true cultural center, with spaces for exhibitions, lectures, and even a music room where you can listen to vinyl records. I spent quite some time in that room, taking the opportunity to cool down from the heat and listen to some local and international music. I was just a little disappointed not to find anything from Brazil, but who knows? Maybe next time, right? The Martynas Mažvydas National Library, in addition to being one of the largest in the region, is also a symbol of Lithuania's cultural preservation. Founded in 1919, it has played a crucial role in maintaining Lithuanian identity throughout the years, especially during the more turbulent periods of the country's history, such as the Soviet occupation. The library holds a vast and diverse collection, with more than 6 million documents, including historical manuscripts, rare books, and even publications in Braille. It's a true paradise for lovers of literature and history. An interesting curiosity about Vilnius is that the city is home to one of the narrowest streets in Europe. Literata Street, Literata Gatve, is a small alley that has been transformed into an open-air art gallery dedicated to writers and poets. The walls of the street are adorned with metal, ceramic, and glass plaques, each representing a tribute to authors who have a connection with Lithuania. Walking down this street is like diving into the country's rich literary heritage in an environment that is both artistic and inspiring. Another fascinating fact about Vilnius is that the city has a history of religious tolerance and multiculturalism. In the 16th century, Vilnius was known as the Jerusalem of the North. due to its large and vibrant Jewish community. The city was also home to communities of Poles, Russians, and Germans, making it a melting pot of cultures and religions. This spirit of tolerance is still felt in Vilnius today, where various religions coexist harmoniously and where cultural diversity is celebrated in festivals and events throughout the year. To conclude my stay in Vilnius, I decided to have lunch at a Ukrainian restaurant. The experience was wonderful, from the presentation of the dishes to the attention of the staff. The food was delicious, and it was a perfect way to say goodbye to this city that I've grown so fond of. After lunch, I went to Vingis Park, another beautiful park in Vilnius. With the heat, renting a skateboard and crossing the park from end to end was one of the best decisions I made. I felt like a fairy gliding through the forest. It was simply a magical experience. Being in such a green and large park in the middle of the city is a privilege that greatly enhances the quality of life. The practice of forest bathing, which has become a trend due to its mental and physical health benefits, is something many enjoy in this kind of environment. And with that sense of peace and connection to nature, I concluded my adventure in Vilnius. Lithuania is a country with a fascinating history and incredibly welcoming people. Vilnius, in particular, is a city that blends the old and the modern in a unique way. I learned so much from this trip, not only about Lithuanian culture and history, but also about the importance of being open to new experiences and different ways of seeing the world. I was very well treated and received, and I can say with certainty that Vilnius is a place well worth visiting. If you're looking for a destination that combines natural beauty, stunning architecture, rich history, and a vibrant atmosphere, Vilnius should be on your list. And who knows, maybe you'll fall in love with this city just as I did. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and tell me in the comments about the most distant place you visited and how the experience was. See you next time, friends. Bye.